Minister Motegi's regular press conference. Over to you, Minister. Thank you. In relation to Hurricane Melissa, which enormously affected the Caribbean late October, today the government of Japan decided to provide emergency grant amounting to a total of $4 million to 3 countries of Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. With this emergency grant, the government of Japan will provide humanitarian assistance in the areas of food, temporary shelters, and health through international organizations. I express government of Japan's commitment to work closely with the countries and relevant organizations to realize as soon as possible recovery of affected areas. Now, Japan-China Asian Affairs DG's meeting. I have not been reported. I have not been told that the meeting has ended. Once it's ended, there will be report. Please state your name and affiliation. Please approach to the microphone and please raise your hands. Mr. Uemura Yomiuri. I'm Uemura Yomiuri. Now, Taiwan contingency is a verbal threatening condition. Remarks by Prime Minister Takaichi. I would like to ask Ambassador George Glass posted on his X account sent a backhanded compliment to Ambassador Wu Jinhao and Osaka Consul General Xu Jian around Prime Minister Takaichi's remarks at the Diet on Taiwan Contingency and Survival Threatening Situations. And President William Lai of Taiwan on the 17th asked China to restrain itself, saying that China must not become a troublemaker. What is your take on those posts by allies and others showing understanding of the Japanese government's position? Do you believe that the position of the government of Japan can earn international understanding? What are the steps the government intends to take to deepen the understanding by third countries other than China?
First of all, as I have been mentioning from the past, the social media post by Chinese Consul General in Osaka was significantly inappropriate as the comment by the head overseas diplomatic establishment. Also, the announcement made to reduce the bilateral people-to-people exchange by China is inconsistent with directionality set by Japan and China. Ambassador Glass's post on the social media, he has mentioned this as well, but peace and stability of Taiwan Strait and the issue on Taiwan should be resolved through dialogue, peacefully, is important for the Japanese security as well as for the international community. I have been mentioning this in ASEAN-related summit, APEC, as well as in the foreign ministers meeting of G7. I have emphasized on these points, and to the relevant parties, I have made thorough explanations on this matter. I am aware of the comments that you have referred to regarding our view and stand. And towards the peace and stability of the region, we would like to closely coordinate with allies and like-minded countries, and we would like to appropriately respond.
Next question, please. Nakagawa-san, Chugoku Shimbun. I'm Nakagawa, Chugoku Shimbun. Thank you very much for having me. I have a question about 3 non-nuclear principles. At the Securities Committee of Lower House, you said that the government is to inherit and follow then Foreign Minister Okada's statement. Prime Minister Takaichi has said that not allowing the introduction could hinder the situation. What is your view on that? During the committee, I said that the 3 non-nuclear principles will be upheld as a matter of policies with regards to not permitting the introduction principle. The government is to inherit and follow the response in 2010 by the then Foreign Minister Okada. Horikoshi-san, Nikkei.
This is Horikoshi from Nikkei. I would like to talk about the Japan-China relationship. I would like to ask about the private sector exchange. There is a forum of the Japanese and Chinese experts called a Tokyo-Beijing Forum, and it has been announced that there will be a postponement. And the reason for that is because of the comment made by Prime Minister Takaichi on Taiwan contingency. So how do you see a situation where the private sector exchange has been negatively affected? And also, I think that for China and Japan, it is very important to have active private sector exchange. But how would be acting in order to normalize the private sector exchange?
Well, I am aware of the postponement of the forum that you've just mentioned. We have many different international fora with different countries. So rescheduling of such fora is something that could happen, and the government of Japan would refrain from commenting on each one of these reschedulings. Having said that, between Japan and China, there are pending issues and difference in views, and pending issues and difference in views make it all the more important to facilitate multi-layered communication in many areas, both on the government and private sector levels. That is my view, and this is something that I have stressed all the way along. And in view of this, the government will continue to take appropriate steps. Next question, please.
Yamamoto-san from NHK. This is Yamamoto from NHK. I would like to ask about the meeting between the Director General. I would like to ask, and it was Mr. Kanai who has met who I would like to ask who he has met and what kind of results that you believe would have.
Yes, your understanding is correct. It's about time that concluded the meeting because of the flight schedule. But once the meeting is adjourned, there will immediately be a report to me, and I will be willing to listen to the debriefing as soon as possible, perhaps tomorrow. As I said briefly earlier on, around this issue that we are facing, the people-to-people exchanges, the chilling effect the Chinese announcements could have. And this is incompatible with the broad direction our leaders affirmed to promote mutual beneficial relationships based on common strategic interests and to build constructive and stable ties. To China, the remarks are made by Prime Minister Takaichi at the Diet. The intent behind this, we will continue to explain thoroughly to China, and we have issued representations and urged China to take appropriate response. DG Kanai has been instructed to walk along with us, based on which Mr. Kanai is having talks with his counterparts in China.
Okay, my name is Susilo from Tribune News of Indonesia. What I would like to ask is the 2+2 meeting. And was there any discussion about the provision of the destroyer to the Indonesia Abukuma class? So in terms of the discussion made in 2+2 meeting with Indonesia, we have conveyed the contents in the joint press conference, and we have that contents for you if you don't have it with you. With regards to the discussion made between the defense ministers, please ask the defense ministry.
Murakami-san, Bloomberg. I'm Murakami, Bloomberg News on Japan-Sino relations. Asian Affairs DG's meeting. I know that these meetings have been conducted regularly, according to the government's account, but on the 7th of November, Prime Minister Takaichi made a remark on the survival-threatening situation. Was this meeting scheduled before her remarks, or was this meeting decided upon after his remarks? And Mr. Kanai, DG, is in China, and I would like to hear from you the observation on the Chinese side with regards to the visit by Mr. Kanai. The Japan-China Asian Affairs DG's meeting have been held regularly, and Japan and China have taken turns to host this meeting. And last time was in Japan. Therefore, this had been decided. It had been decided that this time will be in China. When the dates were fixed, I cannot give you a definitive answer to that because there are a lot of things going on. But when this remark was made by Prime Minister Takaichi at the Diet, the arrangement had been made to a significant degree. I cannot hear the question because the microphone is off. We are talking about the regular consultations. The last time was held in Japan. So this time, we have been taking turns, China and Japan have been taking turns, therefore, or it is just ordinary that Japan will be visiting China this time around. Lee-san, Phoenix, Hong Kong.
From Phoenix TV, my name is Lee. I would like to ask about Taiwan. Minister Motegi, you have mentioned in the press conference that the stance of your stance is that it has not changed from the joint communique in 1972. So I was wondering, as Japan government side, what you have maintained in the 1972 joint communique is what I would like to know. And also China is demanding withdrawal of the comment of Prime Minister Takaichi. So I was wondering if there is any possibility of withdrawal of the comment from Prime Minister Takaichi.
On your first point, 1972 joint communique of the government of Japan and the government of People's Republic of China, the position of China towards Taiwan is described, and based on the Chinese position, as far as Japan is concerned, we recognize their position, understand their position, and we respect the Chinese position. That, I believe, was the wording. I will get the document if necessary, if you want to know precise wordings, but the Japanese government's position has been consistent over the years since then. Please use the microphone. What about retracting the remarks? With regards to survival-threatening situations, if there is a specific event, we first have to gather information, and we have to take everything into account to make a comprehensive decision and judgment. And Prime Minister Takaichi, I was there when Prime Minister Takaichi made that remarks, and this has been repeated at the Budget Committee at the Diet over the years. As long as there is no armed conflict, the survival-threatening situation will not arise. That was another point which she emphasized. In that regard, what was commented by Prime Minister Takaichi is consistent with the Japanese government of Japan's consistent position over the years.
I would like to ask another question on China. In terms of the request for refraining from going to China, as well as to consider carefully of studying abroad in Japan, it was announced from the Ministry of Education of China. And I think that this kind of announcement would damage the Japanese economy. And I was wondering how you view this. Do you think this is economic coercion towards Japan? Economic coercion. Economic coercion has been used commonly in the international community as a term. And whether it is economic coercion or not, putting that aside, as I have mentioned earlier, there should not be any actions taken to reduce the people-to-people exchanges because it is inconsistent with the agreement in which was made between Japan and China. Anything else? That will conclude today's press conference. Thank you very much.